Hi, welcome to the Twinsburg Mayor's Report. I'm Mary Kidd and I'm here with Mayor Sam Scaffide in this beautiful outdoor location. Tell us about it.
Yeah, right now today we're at Glenmeadow Park, which is right on Glenwood Drive, just across from East Idlewood Drive. And this is, of course, you can see in the background, this is where our pickleball courts are that are constantly used. It's probably one of the most used courts that we have in the community, in the city. You know, at one time these were our tennis courts, and we had changed them over to pickleball courts, and they've never been used more. So it was really a good move for us to go ahead and make that change. And then right behind this is our brand new relocated safety town. You can't see it from this shot, but back there are the new houses and it really looks nice back there. There's a church, I believe, on it, and there's I believe a city hall and homes, and it's really going to be a nice little park and it's not only used for Safety Town. We're opening it up for all year long if kids want to come and play in there,
fun.
And ride around in there and learn things. There even is a roundabout on the new Safety Town. So we're teaching them young how to navigate our roundabouts. And so and again, the park we've taken the parks and we've tried to refurbish a park a year. And so we started on this one. We got the ball fields back here. We've got the new playground that we put in about 2 years ago, and then also we'll be putting in a pavilion here. So it's just one of the upgrades that we're doing, and it really is. It's really a nice location and a nice park. And then on the other side, there's another pavilion for cookouts and things like that people have used. So it really has become one of our premier parks in the city.
Well, and I don't want people to think that the city of Twinsburg has abandoned tennis, because you still have the courts over by the water park.
We do. We still have tennis courts around. Yeah,
okay.
These just didn't seem to be used as much for tennis.
Okay.
But since we've changed them over to pickleball, and we redid all the court floor and everything last year, all new pavement, all new paintings on it. So it's really used a lot. So I think it was a good move.
And we have to have a special shout out to your service department for these gorgeous flowers.
Yeah, we have Jesse's our gardener, and he does a really good job too. Jesse's responsible for this. We asked for some flowers today, and so he certainly gave us flowers. But he's responsible for all the City Hall, everything in front of City Hall. He's responsible for all the welcome signs, all the flowers you see in there, and all the public places that you see flowers throughout the city. Jesse and his group, they take care of that. So again, he really does a great job for us, and we appreciate him.
And people notice. It's not just something in the background. People notice, oh my gosh, those flowers are beautiful in Twinsburg.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, we do. We get compliments. I get compliments when I see people. They'll come up to me and tell me how nice the city looks. So again, it's just pride of our city, and we're definitely proud of our city.
Very nice. All right, down to business.
Okay.
A Twinsburg dispatcher made a harassing call to a resident.
She did.
Or allegedly, or?
No,
she did.
She did.
Okay.
Yeah, she did. There's the audio on it.
Okay.
But she was a dispatcher with us for several years, like over 30 years. And she had retired back in the early 2020s. And then she came back as a part-time dispatcher. And then she was retiring again. She had put in her notice a couple weeks ahead of time. So, people are confused. It wasn't a termination. We didn't fire her. We didn't, place charges against her. We did not do that. She was leaving anyway. On the last maybe 5 minutes of her final shift, she decided that she wanted to make this phone call. And I understand the frustration. I'm sure that the dispatch center gets quite a few calls that are frustrating for them. But so do we as City Hall too. People call you, they're frustrated, they're angry, they've got concerns. And so, but it never does us any good to try to retaliate to people or anything like that. It's just not the way we should handle things. And so I really wasn't real happy about that. But then the resident herself decided to file a complaint, and she did. She filed a complaint, and now it's in the hands of the courts. So where it goes from there, we're yet to see. But yeah, it was an unfortunate situation that we take very seriously, and that's not something that this administration wants to. We certainly don't get behind that kind of activity.
Okay. The big intersection that you share with Macedonia and
Glenwillow and
several,
Oakwood.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
half of Northeast Ohio, I think. It was going to get construction was going to be underway, but it's been delayed?
Well, that was delayed from some of the utilities.
Okay.
Because we had to move utilities. But actually, what we're doing is we're putting in. There are going to be some right turn lanes. Ravenna and Broadway will have right turn lanes put in them, and then coming off of Shepherd onto Broadway, we'll have left turn lanes put into them, leading the way for us to have turn signals. Okay. Because right now the intersection is a little offset.
Yes.
Okay, and so trying to turn, you've got to wait, and so now we're going to have a turn, left turn signal, right turn signals, and things like that there. So it's all a part of making the whole intersection much safer, and putting in these turn lanes really help that out. The unfortunate part is it's not going to be complete till probably spring of 26. Okay, or early summer of 26, late spring, early summer. And again, that's due to materials and being able to order things in and the utilities. So, yeah, but once it's done and complete, we've been working on it for a little while, because the first phase started a few years back. I don't know if you remember, those little turn islands were put in there and the signalization was changed a bit. But so between the four, we call it the Four Corners Project. Between the four communities, we're working on that, and hopefully, again, by the end of next spring or early summer, that'll be complete, and it'll be a much safer intersection to navigate.
Good, good.
Yeah.
Well, while we're on the topic, do you have any back-to-school traffic reminders?
We do. Just the typical reminders with the school zones. You got to be careful in the school zones. 20 miles an hour. Make sure we go 20 miles an hour. But I think the big thing is the school buses. Nobody likes to stop behind a school bus because it seems like they stop here and they stop at the next house. It seems like everybody gets picked up at home these days. But you know what? We have to adhere to the stop. And when that sign comes out on the end of the bus, the stop sign, and the lights are blinking, it's really the best practice, and it's mandatory that you stop and wait for that, because these kids, they may be crossing the street. And so that's another thing. And the other thing that comes up is the bus stops. Right now they're okay in the morning when kids start to go back to school because it's still daylight. But a lot of these kids, when they're at the bus stops, it's dark still. And so they're standing in the dark, and you've got to watch where those bus stops are and where they're standing. And of course, all the crosswalks for the schools. Those are just kind of the typical things that we have to be cognizant of.
And I hear people say, well, I don't understand, we're on a 4-lane road and there's a bus, and what do I do? Stay tuned to the end of our interview, because we will air a bus video, a bus safety video, telling all the regulations, spelling it out, that our producer Dennis made several years ago in conjunction with Twinsburg Police.
That's a great video.
So we will air that at the end of our interview here. Ice cream. You got another ice cream place.
I know, right? I know. Handel's has been the go-to, and Dairy Queen, of course, has been here a long time. But now we've got Ebony's Ice Cream, and they moved in on Glenwood Drive and Vale Drive, right at the corner. It used to be a D.O. Summers laundromat or dry cleaners. And so now that's Ebony's Ice Cream, and I haven't unfortunately been there yet, but I understand that the ice cream's great, and they've got some different flavors, and we really welcome them to the community. There should be coming up a ribbon cutting there soon, so I'm sure I'll get to dabble a little bit during that ribbon cutting, and I'm looking forward to that.
Nothing better than ice cream for lunch.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or dinner or breakfast.
Absolutely.
How was your first Family Diversity Day?
Actually, it went very well. Unfortunately, I was out of town. I wasn't able to attend, but it was a success. Our JEDI committee did a really good job of putting this together, along with our Parks and Rec and our service department. They did a lot of work for this as well. But the event, it featured food trucks. There was a map showing where the attendees are from. They had raffles and prizes, participating in a diversity bingo, which was something. It was geared towards learning more about people that were in attendance, and they had a photo booth, and they even had a gentleman there, Kwame Jerry Williams. He was a storyteller and a drummer that entertained the group. So they really had it was a nice day. Could have been more attended, but usually when you start something out, once the word gets out that it's there and that it was a nice event, and I'm sure it'll pick up next year, and so hopefully it's something that we can do annually from here on in.
It'll be good.
Yeah, that's real nice.
one of my favorite parts of summer is riding my bike.
Okay.
And I'm noticing more and more e-bikes out there.
Yes.
Like, hey, I am just pedaling my little legs, and that guy just passed me and not even pedaling.
Mm-hmm.
So it's an electric bike that you only have to pedal occasionally, I
Correct.
believe is how they work. But do they have any special rules or regulations?
You know what they do? We don't have any locally, but the Ohio Revised Code has an extensive list, and that's what we follow right now. We're following the Ohio Revised Code on all the regulations and the rules with regards to, you know, the federal regulations and permitted uses and violations and so on and so forth. And it includes all the do's and don'ts for sidewalks, trails, and streets, etc., where you could ride those. It tells about the age limits, and they're in classes. I think it's class 1, 2, and 3 of a bike. And, you know, kids under 16 aren't, you know, it tells all the ages what bike you're allowed to ride. So it's really, that's what we're following at the current time. But we're working on bringing in our own ordinances and our own codes in addition to the Ohio Revised Code to keep here on hand for our residents and for our police department. And I know that the police chief, they're looking right now to do some kind of they're going to put out they're going to do some flyers about it, because truthfully we see more and more of these bikes around, and we're getting more and more calls, you know, complaints and concerns about the bikes, and, you know, just the young people or older people that are riding them and are really not paying attention to the signs like they should, stop signs and turn signs, or putting their arm out for a signal, and this, you know, and so on and so forth. So it's becoming something that's really big, and we're going to be addressing it.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Keep us posted on that.
Absolutely.
And there's something going on for back to school. And this is the first time, right? This is a huge thing between the city and the schools.
Yes, yeah, it is a big thing. It's our Rock the Park. It's our summer thank you from Rock the Park concerts. It's our last concert of the year. It's on August 16th. It's a little different twist than what we've done before, but it's a free concert. So that's the best part, I think, that it's for free. It starts at, I believe, 5 o'clock, and you come in there, and they're going to have all kinds of back to school things. We're calling it like a back to school block party. And so they're going to have a school bus that when you bring supplies, stuff the bus.
Okay.
Yeah, you bring stuff the bus, and there'll be food trucks there, and, you know, supplies for collection. They're going to be giving free haircuts. Oh. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Yeah, they have a braid bar. I guess you can go get your hair braided, and it's all presented by our Paul Mitchell School here. Oh. They're going to be doing that there. There's the bookmobile's going to be there, and then to wind up the thing at the end of the day is going to be a free concert at the amphitheater, our amphitheater back there. So, but you do have to have tickets. Even though it's a free concert, you have to have tickets. And of course, there's no charge for them, but go on rocktheparkconcert.com, and that's where you can get your tickets. We need to know how many people are going to be attending. So I think that's the biggest reason for having the ticket. But it's a free concert, and it's for young and old alike, and I think it's going to be a good time.
It sounds really fun.
Yeah, it's something different, and we're excited to try it, and hopefully we could do it every year.
And if I see you the next day, you'll be all braided.
Yeah, next time we shoot, I'll have braids on. Or no hair, one or the other.
Right.
I'm going to buzz cut this.
I understand you have a new Assistant Parks and Rec Director?
We do. We're excited about him. Desmond Wade, he started as our Assistant Parks and Rec Director back on June 29th. And he's currently working with the team to build more programming within the fitness center and the Rock the Park for next year. He's working on that. You know, he's a young man, and he just came with he's got a lot of ideas. He's come with, in the short time that he's been there, he's really brought a lot to the table. And I think that's the most part that we saw in him, that, you know, he's very idealistic, and he's always there, always willing to help, and he just comes up with a lot of good things. So we're just happy to have him on board, to be able to work with Jen. Running this Parks and Rec department here is a lot of work between the fitness center and the senior center and the pools, the outdoor pool, the natatorium, and all the park system. I mean, it's a lot, and so it was a position that's really needed, and so we're excited to have him, and so far he's doing a great job for us.
one of the things that your rec center is doing that impressed me so much, the kids are going back to school, but then they have these random days off.
Correct.
Well, parents don't necessarily have those days off from work.
Right.
And you've come up with a solution.
Yeah, we're calling it, it's called our School Day Off Day Rec Camp, okay? And we've got, I believe there's like 10 dates scheduled from starting on the end of this month and then all the way through to December. And then we've already got some dates set for the first quarter of next year too. And it's a great time for the kids. There is a charge though, and they have to reserve it, but there's a charge for it. But it's a way for the parents, you know, the kids are off school. What do you do with them, you know? And so the Parks and Rec Department has come up with this, and I think it's going to be a fun day for them. The kids will be there. They'll be with other people their age, and you know they're going to have a good time. And I just think it's a great added service that we're doing through our Parks and Rec Department for the families in the city.
Much more fun than lying on the couch and watching Price is Right, like we used to do.
Yeah, I still do. When I'm home, I still do. Or else they're doing this on their phones or whatever.
Right.
So
we didn't do that.
Yeah,
No,
I didn't
Bob
do that either.
Barker.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm lucky I had a phone.
And Muffins with the Mayor is coming up.
Coming up, yep. It's coming up on the 14th of this month at 10 o'clock at the Senior Center. I've been doing that now. This is the second year I'm doing it. It seems to be very popular with our seniors. I love talking with them, love having them there. I get to talk with them about, you know, I usually start out with, I give them the financial, you know, detail of the city for, you know, what's going on and where we're at with the finances, maybe any big projects that are coming up. But I usually bring like a department head with me as well to talk about their department and zero in on that. We've gone through all the departments, and I thought this time I'm going to bring a councilman with me. And so let them see, and so I'm bringing Councilman at Large Scott Barr. He's going to be my guest this next week. And he's going to talk about council and what council does. I mean, some people don't understand, you know, when council's up there and they make a motion or what's a resolution and what's an ordinance and so on and so forth. And truthfully, you know, council can't be discounted because without council, I have no money to spend. I'm only allowed by law to spend
There'll
up
be no
to
muffins.
yeah, no muffins next time. But I'm only allowed to spend up to like $75,000. And so if, you know, these bigger projects, our road programs and things like that and equipment purchases, they're way over $75,000. So, you know, council has to go through all that. They watch the purse strings of the city. And so we've got a great council right now. I'm so proud of them, and I'm proud that I've worked with them. I've been on board since all of them came on board. And so we have a really good relationship, and we're able to talk about things. We don't agree with everything, but, you know, we work it out. And, you know, we all work it out. I say at the end of the day, it's for the betterment of this community. What's best for Twinsburg? Your personal opinion and my personal opinion doesn't really matter. It's what's best for this community and what we can do and what we can afford. So they do a great job with us. So I'm bringing Scott Barr along to help out.
That's a great thing
Yeah.
for the seniors.
Yes.
And another, what we're going to end with is your Senior Mystery Progressive Dinner. I'm
Yeah.
like, what is this?
Isn't this something? I know. That's another great thing. And I'm dying to see how this works out. But yeah, they're going to start at some Mystery Progressive Dinner on August 25th. It starts at 4:30. And I don't know what the old date was, but I've been told to give a note that it's a change from what the original date was. So again, it's August 25th at 4:30. They're going to meet at the Senior Center, and that's where they get their first clue where to travel for their appetizer. And then once they find the appetizer and hopefully enjoy it, then they get their next clue of where dinner's at. And so from there, from dinner, then they move on to, they get a clue to where dessert's going to be held. And so then they go on to dessert. So it sounds like a really fun night for the seniors, and I think it's going to be great. I'm sure it's going to be well received. And they have to provide their own transportation though, so they'll get in their vehicles and drive from place to place. And then
it's not a race.
It's not a race. No,
Okay.
no. There'll be food there for them when they get there.
Okay.
And the event is sold out already, so you know nobody else could sign up. But it sounds like a lot of fun.
Right, and I wanted to bring it to people's attention for next time.
Yeah.
When they see that, now they'll know what it is and say, I want to sign up for that.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming out.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for holding these. I love these outdoor shootings, and this is nice. It's nice to be out throughout the city. And so, people are waving. Hello. So, yeah, it's nice to be out and about. So,
It is.
yeah, thank you for doing this. We appreciate it.
Oh, we're happy to. Thank you. And thank you for watching.
With school in session, it's important to review with everyone the laws in Ohio regarding stopping for school buses. Many people get confused as to when they should or shouldn't stop for a school bus, and it's important that everyone knows the law for the safety of all our children. Remember, if a road is 3 lanes or less, like Ravenna Road, Gettysburg Drive, Oxford Street, or Regatta Trail, then all traffic must stop from either direction when a bus stops to pick up or drop off any school children. If a road has 4 lanes or more, like State Route 82 or State Route 91, then the driver of the vehicle only has to stop if they are going in the same direction as the bus. For example, if you and the bus are both traveling in the same direction on State Route 82, then you have to stop. If you are traveling in the opposite direction, you don't have to stop. In the case of a railroad crossing, when the bus stops at the crossing, you must also stop if you are traveling in the same direction as the bus. Traffic going in the opposite direction does not have to stop for the bus at the railroad crossing. Illegally passing a school bus is a very serious offense. A court appearance is mandatory, and you will be fined up to $500, and your license could even be suspended. Please remember these rules of the road to keep all our school kids safe this year.